Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to go through a weekly recap for you. So this past week was a really great trading week. There was a lot of opportunity to capitalize on the upside and downside, even with the Fed announcing it's raising interest rates. The overall market sentiment was mostly bullish towards the end of the week, and there were a lot of really great opportunities to be able to catch a lot of high probability setups. That being said, I did have a really great trading week this week. It was my best trading week thus far in 2022, and probably, if I remember correctly, my best trading week since the beginning of 2021. So if you guys remember correctly, 2021 was not a day trader's market. It was a little difficult to trade in 2021, and I did struggle. In 2019 and 2020 were great. 2021 was a little difficult, and 2022 is starting out really well. So I know you guys are all dying to know how much I made. I just want to let you guys know that I did record every single day except for Monday. I didn't record my Monday's trade because I only took one trade on Monday when I looked back, and it was with SPX. I didn't trade anything else that day. It was one and done on Monday, and then for the rest of the week I did actively trade throughout most of the days, so I'll show you guys that as well. And in total on the week I made $136,000, a little over $136,000. So yeah, I'm really excited to go through some of these trades with you guys, and I wrote them all down. Obviously, I can't go through every single trade that I took because it would just take way too long. So I do just want to mention the bulk of my P&L came on Friday. Friday was quad witching day. And over the past, like I said, in 2021, all the quad witching days were really choppy, hard to trade. So I did expect Friday to be choppy. However, it was really bullish. Market just ran. Anything you got into calls, you made profit on. Pretty much just buy anything up and you would have made profit on Friday. Overall market sentiment was really good, had strong direction all the way through the end of the day. The market ran into the end of the day, so it was really strong bullish sentiment and very easy to trade on Friday, which is why I ended up sizing up and did make the bulk of my P&L. Pretty much half of my P&L came from Friday. So I just want to mention that to you guys, and I'll go through most of my trades on Friday so you guys can kind of see, because I did take some high probability setups and day trades on Friday, which I don't usually take, but like I said, when there's market sentiment, you definitely want to capitalize on that. That being said, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and let's get started. Hey guys, so like I said, I recorded Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I didn't record my Monday's trades. On Monday, I made around $7,300, and I only took one trade, and that was with SPX. So I'm not going to show you guys that trade. I think I posted that on Instagram anyways. So I wrote down some of the trades that I took, and I'm just going to go through the ones I think are kind of the highest probability trades that I took, to be honest, and then some that I don't think were all that great. All right, guys, so the first trade I'm going to go through is a scalp I took with SPX on Tuesday, the 15th. It was a scalp. It was about a 3-minute scalp, and I made around $11,000 on it. Now, I am going to show you guys a live trade, but I will let you guys know that I took this scalp at 9:30, I'm sorry, 9:28 Central Time. So I was in the Central US last week, so that's why the time is a little off. So on the Eastern time, it would have been 10:28. So that's why it says 9:28, because I forgot to change my IB back to Eastern Standard Time. So on Tuesday in the morning, it was a little choppy. So if we look at here is Tuesday on SPX, you can see here had some choppiness here, made a move up, created a high at around 42.15, came back down, created a day's low, touched that 42.15 again, which then I would consider that a two-touch intraday level. Also double topped here, so I would see if potentially it breaks the double top, it would break below 41.88, which it could potentially had a gap to fill below 41.88 if you look here on the day. So I was watching it above 42.12 for that intraday level, and then below 41.88 for the gap fill down. So you can see in the morning on Tuesday, it was a little choppy. You had to be patient. So that's why this first trade that I took was all the way at 10:28 Eastern. So just keep that in mind that my recording is showing Central Time. All right, so right now, here we go. It's almost 9:28. So that's when I took it on Central Time. So I'm just going to forward it a little bit. So I was watching the 42.15 break on SPX. Okay, so here we go.
It's 9:28, so we got a couple minutes left. I'm sorry, a couple seconds. All right here, SPX starts to break 42.15. There we go. It's breaking 42.15, and I enter calls. I'm in 30 calls here on SPX at $43 a pop. And like I said, this was about a 2 to 3 minute scalp. I exited some at 9:30 and I exited the rest at 9:31. So let's go ahead and take a look here. My target on this was 42.25. That was the next level up that I had on it. I entered at this a 10:28 candle, 9:28 Central Time. It held fully above the 42.15 level, which was my level for entry, and it made a nice little pop up. I exited, like I said, some of my profit at 9:30, and then I exited the rest at 9:31. So 10:31 here, you can see at the 10:31 candle made the biggest move up. And I caught a nice little quick scalp here to my next level of resistance. Now, when you have a day where it starts off a little choppy in the morning, you do want to take quick scalps because you don't want to overextend the play because you don't know if the market is going to catch that upside momentum or the downside momentum just yet. So on the first move up, I do like to be conservative and I do like to take a quick pop up. Now, I trusted the 42.15 level because as you can see, whoops, on that 42.15 level, not only is it a psych level because it's a $5 point level, it also is a 2-touch intraday level, almost 3-touch here before it ended up breaking out here. So nice little breakout there. So we're just gonna go watch this here. I'm gonna forward a little bit of this so you guys can just see when I enter and exit. Okay, so I exited some of my position at 9:30, and then I exited the rest at 9:31. So here we go at 9:30. I exited some. The premium moved to $45. Okay, premium's still moving, which means the stock is still moving. So we got about 10 seconds left to the next candle open. There you go, next candle opens up. And there we go, premium starts to pick up here on that push with that candle, strong bullish momentum on that candle. And there you go, I locked the rest on the push up on that candle. I ended up making $11,173 here. The premium on the first exit went to $45. On the second exit, it went to $48. Quick 3-minute scalp here. Really easy, strong bullish movement, nice entry, held above the 42.15 level. I waited for confirmation there. I exited half at my 42.20 could have also been a psych level, so that's why I think I exited at 9:30 and then 9:31. So I exited some at 9:30 and then the rest of it at 9:31 once it touched my ultimate profit target. I didn't overhold, I didn't bag hold or anything like that. So this was a really, really high probability scalp. I was really patient. I waited an hour before I ended up taking this play. Really, really good play on Tuesday here. All right, guys, so the second trade that I'm going to go through with you guys on SPX was a day trade. So I didn't get the entry here, but I entered it at 9:39, which is 10:39 Eastern time. So I'm just going to speak on Eastern, but on the entries, you'll see Central time just on my Tuesday live trade. So I entered at 10:39 Eastern Standard Time, and I entered a day trade. Now, I entered a day trade on SPX here because ES had broken out of 4,200. So if you see here, like I said, I entered at 9:39. So around that time here, I'm sorry, I entered at 10:39. I'm going to speak Eastern time. I entered at 10:39, and around that time here, so this is your 10:39 candle here. ES had broken out of the 4,200 level, and that was a strong psych level on ES. And above 4,200, it did have room to move on the daily time frame, which is why I was comfortable entering this trade. Entering this day trade with SPX because ES had broken out of a strong psych level and it had room all the way up to 42.50 that day. Okay, so if we take a look back at the 5-minute here on ES, so you can see here, ES did end up breaking 4,200 and ran straight to 42.50. So that's the main reason why I entered SPX day trade calls on this, because ES broke out of a strong psych level. So I did see that it had room all the way to 42.50. So in looking at ES and looking at ES futures and seeing that it did have room to move all the way to 42.50, that is why I entered an SPX day trade. I entered SPX at 10:39. So let's go ahead and take a look there at where exactly I entered. It wasn't the best entry point. I did enter on a small pullback, but I think I could have waited a little bit longer and entered on a better pullback, but not an overall bad trade. So I entered at right here. So I entered at 10:39. Once it came back down, retested the 9-day EMA on that 1-minute time frame, and then if you look at the 5-minute here, it was full. It started to make a move up. So this was the candle that I entered on. It wasn't the best candle here. My entry, I should have actually waited until it flagged here, and then on this pullback here, I should have entered for a day trade. I did think that ES would just make a strong move up, but you can see here that it was wicky on the 5-minute, so it wasn't as strong, and it did end up making a pretty decent pullback on the 5-minute before making its way back up to 42.50. Like I said, when you enter, it's fine you enter on the 1-minute time frame, but when you're entering a day trade, you do want to pay attention to higher time frames. So obviously I wasn't watching this on the 1-minute, because if I was watching this on the 1-minute, you can then see how hard SPX did pull back. But if you look at the 5-minute time frame, even though it pulled back, it held that 21-day EMA. It never held below the 21-day EMA, and it held that 42.20 level all the way through. It never broke below 42.20, which would be my stop loss on this entry. So like I said, I entered this at 10:39 right here. Where is it? Right here on this candle pullback here, pullback to the 9-day EMA, enter at 10:39. So if I'm going to enter at 10:39, it's around the 42.25 level. My stop loss is going to be 42.20 on this day trade. And you can see on the 5-minute time frame, it never held below that. And if we move this to the 15-minute time frame, because those are the two time frames that I usually watch when I day trade, 5, 15-minute, and 30-minute. Usually it's the 5 and 15-minute, but you can see on the 15-minute as well, trended nicely up, never broke below 42.20. It did pull back, but like I said, it held that 42.20 level all the way through. It did retest and consolidate multiple times prior to making the move up to 42.50 with ES. So there was a lot of pullbacks on SPX, but overall on the day, it did end up making the move. I exited this position at 3:20. So Eastern time, 10:39 entry, exit was 3:20. And I made a little under 40% on this scalp. And if we come back, it wasn't the best day-to-day trade on Tuesday, but it did give pretty decent momentum. And like I said, my target on ES was 42.20, and my target, 42.50, and my target on SPX was also 42.50. But you can see here when I did exit at 3:20 was this candle right here. So it would have been, let's look at the 5-minute candle. So on the 5-minute here, I exited at this 3:20 candle here. It broke strong above. So like I said, my target on this was 42.50, but it still had a strong bullish momentum. No reason for me to exit on the 5-minute. These are doji candles. So even though it touched 42.50, that was my target. You can see that after on the 5-minute, these doji candles signify indecision between buyers and sellers. So technically the trend was still in place. It was still holding the 9-day EMA. So there was really no reason to completely exit my day trade. I should have locked some of my profit at 42.50, but I didn't end up locking any of my profit, I don't believe. I exited all of it at 3:20, which is this candle right here. It was towards the end of the day. It hit my first target, and then my second target was 42.60, so I was completely comfortable exiting this. At the same time, ES did hit 42.50, which was my target on it. so I didn't want to overhold this. So you can see here, this 320 candle on ES hit 42.50, broke out of 42.50, and I did think that at that point ES would pull back. So my main indicator for this trade was ES. ES futures was breaking out of a key level at 4,200. Overall market sentiment was bullish pre-Fed meeting on Wednesday. On top of that, it had room to move 40 to 42.50, 50 points on ES, which is what I was watching and why I ended up holding SPX a little further past 42.50. So obviously I didn't record the whole entire day because I had stuff to do, but I was just in that day trade, and I did actually enter a scalp too towards the end of the day as well on SPX. So when I do day trade a stock, if I'm holding a day trade or I think the stock's going to make a big move, I still scalp it. So I'll hold the day trade. I won't have as big of a position on the day trade, and I'll just scalp the stock as it makes the move up. I think that's a really great way to optimize your profits, and that's what I did this entire week. If I did day trade a stock, I still scalped it, and especially on Friday with SPX, I'll show you guys. I day traded it and I scalped it, and I ended up making a lot of profit on that day. So I had entered 42.30 calls. I exited them. The premium went from, I entered this at $36.41. The premium went to $50.30. So a nice move on the premium, like a $14 or $15 move on the premium. And I made that $13,864. Like I said, most of this day trade was solely dependent on ES breaking out of that 4,200 and making the way up to 42.50. All right, so the next day here, we're going to look at an SPX scalp I took at 9:35 to 9:38. So this is 316. Okay, this is the next day on SPX. Okay, so this is 316 here. All right, so I just want to show you guys kind of in my Discord what I was thinking. So, okay, so I called those SPX plays here as well on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday as well. So I was watching it below 42.88 for the gap fill down, and then above 43.10 for calls. Okay, so I think I entered this before, oh no, right. So 43.10 was my entry for calls. Okay, and the 42.88 was my entry for puts. Okay, so let's take a look. I entered SPX at 9:35 and I exited at 9:38, and then I actually ended up re-entering SPX right after I exited, which was not the best decision, but I'll show you guys what I did. Okay, so we are getting to 9:35 candle. Remember, 43.10 was my entry on SPX for the upside. There we go. SPX starts to break 43.10. I'm getting ready to fill my order. All right, I filled in SPX. I got an entry of $24.80 at 9:35. I held this for 3 minutes. The premium went from $24.80 to $26.70. I didn't size up on this. I only purchased 10 contracts on this day because it was right before Fed. So that's why I wasn't that comfortable sizing up. I ended up making $1,874 on this. So let's zoom in a little bit. All right, so 9:38 here, SPX ended up touching 43.20, which was my target. Premium made a nice like $3 move. I just got out on the pullback instead of the push up. I waited a little too long on this 9:38 candle, and then I did re-enter this for a little bit of a day trade because I got shaken out of my first scalp, but it was a pretty decent scalp, I'm not gonna lie. I'll show you in a second. I just want to show you guys the live part of it first. So should be getting out soon. Okay, so there we go. I exited. I made it I made it. I made $1,874. We went from 24 to 26, 935 to 938. So let's take a look. So I entered above once it broke the 4310 level. So ended up breaking 4310. I entered at 935 and I exited this at my target. My target was 4320. Usually my targets on SPX are every 10 points. That's usually where you see levels of significant levels of support and resistance, and usually what my profit targets are on SPX are anywhere close to those 10-point levels. So entry was 935, exit was 938. This was actually a perfect scalp, completely good. Everything was great about this. The only thing is it still had that bullish sentiment behind it. I could have held some runners. And because of that, I ended up entering a day trade right after I exited, which was mostly because I kind of FOMO'd into that day trade because I felt like I left profit on the table when it could have held. So this in itself, this 935 to 938 perfect scalp, this is a perfect example of a good scalp, just like the one I showed you from Tuesday as well. These are really, really good scalps. This is how you're supposed to scalp a market, just like this. And have your entry point 4310, target 4320, because that's exactly what I wrote here. My above 4310 for calls, my target was 4320, 25, 30, 35, 40. Exited at my first target, perfect. Okay, so that's a really good scalp there. Now, what happened was because I saw it continue up, I ended up entering SPX calls again at 939. Okay, now I ended up holding this position until 1018. All right. And I will show you guys ES. And like I said, this was right before, this was on Wednesday. So Fed had not made its announcement yet. Okay. So Fed was set to make its announcement at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. And this is Wednesday here. Okay. So you can see that ES was trending above its VWAP. Whenever ES futures and NASDAQ futures trend above its VWAP, I do like to take calls and below its VWAP puts. If I see that the futures are trending on top of its VWAP or it's really not having a strong trend above or below its VWAP, I don't like to trade. And if it's above its VWAP, I'm not trading puts. Below its VWAP, I'm not trading calls usually. So you can see here ES was above its VWAP, made a nice move up. It did come back and retest that VWAP level before continuing for the rest of the day on an uptrend. Okay, so I re-entered SPX when it broke 4320. Now, this isn't a bad entry because, you know, your first scalp here is 4310 to 4320. Now, what I would have done, the smart thing would be to wait for a retest and then enter on the next breakout. I didn't wait for a retest and I entered right after I exited, mostly because honestly, I remember what my emotions were. I was like, damn, I left money on the table. Let me get right back in because the trend is still in place. So I entered this back at 939. Okay. Now I'm going to switch this to the 5-minute because obviously I wasn't looking at the 1 minute after that. I exited. So hold on, let me move this because this was a failed bull flag here. Okay. So again, entered at 939 and the stock pulls back. I did make a nice move up to 43.30, which is where I should have exited my profit because I made a move up to 43.30. And like I said, usually on SPX, every 10 points is where my profit target is. I didn't end up exiting and I decided to day trade this. The stock did pull back on the 5-minute time frame. Now, if you enter at 43.20, my stop would be 43.10, the previous level of resistance that's now a level of support. Stock comes up, pulls back, retests that 43.10 level and its 9-day EMA. When you're in this trade, if, for example, you get in somewhere around here and you get stuck in a pullback, make sure that you are watching your candle formation and where your stop loss is. If you have a proper stop loss set, you will not get shaken out, okay? Now, if we look at ES here, the same thing on ES here. So this was around 10:05. All right, guys, sorry. So I just realized on ES I was showing you guys the 317 and not 316. So this is ES here at that 10 o'clock candle. So like I said, I entered at 939 here. It pulled back until around 10:10. So I pulled back here. ES pulled back as well to its 21-day EMA, held the 21-day EMA and its VWAP level, so I was comfortable holding through this pullback, and then it made a nice slow spike up. SPX did the same thing. I ended up exiting this at 10.18. So this was not a good entry at all. I will say that it was not a good entry. I could have exited once I was profitable here at 43.30. I got greedy. So emotions took over. I got greedy when I even entered it because I thought I left too much on the table. Ended up getting greedy, re-entered the trade, and then didn't exit when I was profitable at 43.30. Got even more greedy. Emotions took over, and I ended up getting stuck in a pullback. Now, what you want to pay attention to is that when that does happen and you get stuck in a pullback, you don't panic. A lot of people, what will happen is if they do catch a play like this and they get stuck in a pullback, they panic sell. They watch the 1 minute and they panic sell. But you always, if you get stuck in a pullback, want to make sure that you have a stop loss set, follow your stop loss, and watch it on the 1 minute time frame. I'm sorry, a 5 minute time frame. You always want to watch the pullback on the 5 minute time frame. Even when you're in any type of trade, you always want to have the 5 minute time frame open because it's going to give you a cleaner view of what the stock is doing. Look at the 5 minute here and look at the 1 minute here. So obviously on the 1 minute, it's a little bit more sketch, a little bit more sus. You're more likely to panic sell somewhere around here versus the 5 minute pulls back, holds 9-day EMA, holds 43.10 stop loss level, makes the move up. I ended up exiting this at 10.18, so I exited once I hit 43.45 here at 10.18. So really good exit. SPX ended up, ES ended up hitting 43.50, which is why I was comfortable. 43.40, which I had a level of resistance at 43.40. ES, same thing. ES every 5 and 10 points is going to be a strong level of support or resistance. So 43.40 was my resistance on ES. Futures with SPX hitting every 5 points up. And I'm going to forward some of this. Tried to average down on the pullback, and I didn't get an average down. I ended up entering at the same price, so I just added more to my position, which was stupid. I'm not, and I just want everyone to understand that I've never stated that I'm a perfect trader. When I trade, and I'm showing you guys this is raw trading. Like, this is literally me just trading all day. No one is perfect. No one has a perfect entry and exit point at all times, 100% of the time. So just understand that sometimes, even with the most sophisticated, experienced traders, emotions do take over sometimes. We're human. It's human nature. So just understand that. I tried to average down. I didn't even get an average down, and I just ended up adding more to my position. And then I also entered a 43.30 call on SPX as well. And thankfully, I caught the push on both of those contracts. So you can see I exited the 43.30 call, and then right after that, I exited the 43.20 original call that I entered. So I caught a scalp on the 43.30. Entry was 10.15. Exit was 10.18, which was actually, this was a good scalp. I'm not going to lie. If you look at these 10.15, this is your 10.15 candle here. All right, nice bounce off of the, I caught a bounce here. Nice bounce off of the 9-day EMA here. Huge move up. Same thing with ES. If you look at that 10.15 candle, how it opened above 43.15, strong bullish candle on ES. Kind of came back, retested here, and made a nice move up. I ended up catching a scalp at 10.15. I'm sorry, at 10.15 here on this bullish candle to 10.18. So I caught a scalp here, even though I was stuck in a day trade as well. So I did that really well. I think I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I do think about some of the scalps that I take in between being in probably maybe a losing position or kind of a consolidation period or a retest. And in that aspect, I do feel like I keep my emotions in check, and I'm still able to scalp other stocks. So I actually think I exited this at 10.18. I'm sorry, 10.19, because it's already 10.19 here. And there we go. So I exited my position at 10.19. I did, like I said, have a lot on this specific position because I tried to average down and I just added more to my position. The premium went from $24.20 to $36.10, and I ended up making $35,622 on this position. In total on Wednesday, I made, because I ended up at this Amazon play here, I ended up taking a loss, and then I took one more SPX scalp that I didn't record. So I didn't record those. So in total on Wednesday, and my Amazon loss was a lot. I only made $15,595. So I ended up giving back like $18,000 just on my Amazon play. All right, guys, so this video is getting really long. I already noticed that I recorded like 50 minutes because I've rambled on so much. So I'm gonna skip Thursday. Thursday I made a total of $26,321, and most of my trades were all scalps. I scalped SPX, I scalped Amazon. Those were the two that I scalped. I only traded those two all day, and they were literally scalps. Most of the ROIs were around 20 to 30% on each scalp. So pretty decent scalps there, but if you want, I can just post the entries. Actually, we'll post the entries and exits, and you guys can look through them yourselves. But this video is getting way too long, and I can't go through every single one. Friday, I'll go through my Nvidia day trade because I think this was probably highest probability trade that I took on Friday. So I entered, first of all, Friday was amazing. Market was super strong, super bullish. Clearly you can see here NASDAQ flew on Friday, and with it, so did Nvidia. Now, Nvidia here, before I show you the video, I'm going to show you what I took. Alright guys, so with my Nvidia play, I did take this flag break. So you can see it made a nice move up, flagged on the 15-minute time frame. When I catch a pattern on the 15-minute time frame, I play it on the time frame that I catch it. So I'm not going to watch it on any other time frame but the 15-minute time frame, okay? So I entered this position at 12:37. So I entered somewhere on this 15-minute candle, but if we look at the 5-minute, I just want to show you where exactly. So it was this candle here. It was the 5-minute candle that held above the trend line that I had placed. That was the entry that I was looking to take. So I entered this at 12:37, okay, and I was looking to take that flag pennant break, which it broke out on the 15-minute time frame as well, okay? So, and I'll show you in the Discord. This is what I had posted in the Discord. That's what I took. I entered it on the 5-minute, but kept watch on the 15-minute. And if we look at the video here, let's zoom down. So I have 318 here. Okay, so these are some of the trades that I recorded, but this is my Nvidia entry here, 12:37. And this is towards the end of the day. So you can see here my entry was 12:37. I entered 260 call on Nvidia. My entry point was 226. I exited this position at 311, and the premium went to $4.09. So I gained almost 100% on this day trade on Nvidia. It was 0 DTE. So, and you can see some of the other trades I took on this day as well, but I just want to kind of show you guys the Nvidia trade. See, right at 311 it did touch 425, but when I exited it, I got an exit of around $4.06. Okay, so you can see $4.09 average, and I ended up making $5,480 on just $6,000 invested with Nvidia. So almost 100% gain on this play. So let's say you bought 10 contracts instead of 30 contracts on Nvidia. It would have cost you $2,260, and you would have made probably $1,900 almost 100% gainer. So that's a really decent gain. It was 0 DTE, so the premiums moved well. And if you look at the 15-minute time frame, I held Nvidia all day. One, because NASDAQ was holding its 21-day EMA all throughout the rest of the day, never broke below its 21-day EMA. And then Nvidia on the 15-minute, like I said, whatever time frame you catch your pattern on, you watch it on that time frame. On the 15-minute time frame, doji candle signifies indecision, continues to move up. Doji candle holds the 9-day EMA, signifies indecision. Boom, makes your move up. Ended up exiting somewhere on this 3 o'clock candle to before the 3:15 candle.
All right, guys, so that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, don't forget to comment down below. Give me any video suggestions that you'd like to see. If you have any questions on any of the trades that I took, also comment down below as well. Also, I just want to mention, make sure you're following the correct social media pages. I have them all linked in my YouTube description on every single video, so make sure that you're not getting scammed by fake pages and you are following the correct social media accounts down below. As always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.